Mayfield still on the roster. However, according to NFL Network's In Rappaport, a trade may come a few days before the draft. Intriguing. Shannon, how do you think this one ends?
Yeah, Skip, I think he gets traded, but the Browns are probably going to have to pay $10, $12 million of that salary in order to get someone to take him. And they're not going to get near the compensation that the Washington Commanders gave up to get Carson Wentz or the Colts gave up to get Matt Ryan. I think he's probably going to go for somewhere probably fourth, maybe a fifth, probably a fifth. I'm gonna split the difference with you between three. I'm gonna go five. I think that's where he's gonna go, and I agree that with Ian Rappaport's report that it's probably gonna be somewhere a couple of days before the draft. Because Skip, if you say, well, we'll trade him after the draft, why would I trade him after the draft for a pick that I'm gonna get in 2023? I want to get a pick that could possibly help me this year. Hell, I ain't worried about 2023. Stefanski said, hell, I might not be here to coach him in 2023. Give me someone from this draft that could possibly help this team. And so I agree. I believe, but I know Baker Mayfield is not going to be on this roster at the start of the season. He's going to get traded. The Browns are going to have to pay a large chunk of that $18.9 million that's guaranteed because it was a fifth-year option. And you're going to probably receive compensation around a fifth-round draft pick. That's where they are. Once they found out that you've signed Deshaun, it ain't no more you're flirting with Deshaun. You got him on your books for $230 million. Skip, I know you got to get up off him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you just bought a house. You're moving. I know you got to sell this, Skip. I'm not going to give you the compensation because you're not trying to have two mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
Not with your salary. So I'm going to get this house for less than what you want to sell it for. There's somebody going to get Baker Mayfield for less than what the Cleveland Browns want to give him away for.
Mm.
You were never going to get a first-round draft pick for it. And then once the flirtation, he wanted out, everybody knows this thing is contentious. Now, Skip, you best take what you can get for it. If it's a fifth-round pick and you got to cough up $7, $8, $10, $12 million, at least you'll be done with it.
Mm. So it is my turn, and it is also my time to announce I'm going to change my hashtag today from hashtag free Baker to hashtag cut Baker.
No.
I need to see him cut because that would be the greatest thing that's ever happened to Baker Mayfield. That would increase the nuclear size of the chip on his shoulder to proportions we've never seen, even before he walked on at Texas Tech or then had to walk on again at Oklahoma.
So you wanted to cut the man and still have to pay him $19 million?
Pay him. You're going to have to pay the freight because I believe the entire league, or at least those even mildly interested in Baker, they're sitting back right now chuckling at the Cleveland Browns because they know what you just said is so true. They're stuck, man. They just bet the sun and the moon and the ranch and the future on Deshaun.
Right.
I'm fine with that, but it puts them in a position of zero advantageous bargaining power.
Yes.
You got no leverage.
You're no longer in the catbird seat.
There's no catbird. I don't even know what the catbird seat is, but I kind of know what it means. But the point is, they're all just going to chuckle. And I thought it was very interesting, both Jake Trotter, who covers for ESPN, and I think Mary Kay Cabot also, the best source in Cleveland, or they're both very good at what they do. I don't mean to demean Jake there, but Jake reported that Baker is of a mind that he already is dead set on where he wants to go, and if they trade him somewhere he doesn't want to go, he'll make waves, and we know he is capable of making waves.
Why are you making waves? See, that's what got you up out of Cleveland. You was making waves.
Okay. That might scare off some teams that think, well, maybe I would give a fifth for him or whatever. But what if he doesn't even want to come here and he makes it hard on us to get him ingratiated into our culture here? Well, that doesn't work. I still say that the team that is sitting in the catbird seat is a team in their division. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm not trading him to the Steelers.
Well, okay, that's what I say. Hashtag cut Baker.
No.
Cut Baker Mayfield, because then, trust me, in about 1 minute after he was cut, they would announce in Pittsburgh that he's the Steelers.
Then what happened when he can't beat out Trubisky?
Well, he already beat him out.
He did already beat him.
They know he's better than Trubisky. They have seen
Do
it
we?
up close in personal. Yeah, guess what? Mike Tomlin, my favorite coach in the NFL, got to see Baker Mayfield do a number on his team in a playoff game in Pittsburgh. A number called 91 on scale 0 to 100 is called QBR. And a 91 in a playoff game, especially if it's your first playoff game, is spectacular. And especially if that playoff game is the first that Cleveland has won in 26 years. Mike Tomlin got to see that happen.
Mike Tomlin says, man, I sure hope we can get 6 turnovers in 3 of the first 4 possessions. We get turnovers for him. Yeah, what quarterback isn't going to win that game when 3 of the first 4 possessions of the opposing team results in a turnover? And the first one, the first possession, they snap the ball over Roethlisberger's head and they get a touchdown after that.
All I know is Mike Tomlin is old school, and he saw the electricity that Baker brought to that team. And the old school coaches look at Baker and say, I want him on my side. I want him in my locker room, in my huddle, starting the fire so that he can start.
Hold up. Who was the quarterback when they got into it on that Monday night or that Thursday night? Was Baker the quarterback that lost to Mason Rudolph? I know that wasn't Baker Mayfield that lost to Mason Rudolph. I know good. Wow, that wasn't no Baker Mayfield that lost to Mason Rudolph. The guy that the Pittsburgh, hold on. So we want to replace the guy that beat the guy that's supposed to be the guy. What? I wish I might replace put Baker Mayfield on my team. Trubisky is the way to go, and you know it.
I don't know it. You're going to be in so much trouble because this is the way this thing is going to play out. Everybody else is going to be scared off by Baker. Will he or won't he come play for us? And they're going to have to throw up their hands after the draft. It'll happen after the draft, and they'll say, okay, we give up, we give in. This is collateral damage. This is the price we have to pay for landing Deshaun. We're putting all of our eggs in Deshaun's basket, and I don't blame him. There is baggage there. I acknowledge that. Yeah. And there's some X factor of will he be okay? Will he be right? Will he still represent us on and off the field? My point is, I don't criticize or condemn them for plunging on Deshaun. I had him as a top 3 quarterback. And if he can bounce back into what he was, it might be a year and a half because he might get suspended for a while. I'm good with that. He is better than Baker Mayfield ever will think about being because he's Deshaun Watson.
I got name 15 guys on top of my head better than Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is going to be a big success in this league.
Where?
He's going to be a successful quarterback because he's going to come back and haunt the Cleveland Browns as a Pittsburgh Steeler. He is made for Pittsburgh.
So you saying Baker Mayfield going to beat Deshaun?
If you give him Mike Tomlin, you give him that defense, you give him a run game. Look out.
Hell,
here he comes.
You can give him Lily Tomlin. He's not beating Deshaun in the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield not that dude, Skip. When are you going to come to your senses? At some point in time, you got to stop being stubborn. Your mom said you were stubborn as a child. You're a grown man now.
She said I was stubborn when she tried to get me out of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was the firstborn, and she said I wouldn't come out.
And you've been the same way ever since.
I have.
Hard head. Yeah, exactly. So, hey, listen. It's me, Skip. I'm talking to you. You know I ain't going to tell you nothing wrong. You on the wrong train.
I've been trying to save you from yourself.
No,
because you're going to be so stung. You're going to have to come in here Monday after Blue Monday and sit over there and say, Skip, you got me.
Skip,
you got me.
The only time you've been right more times about Brady than I have.
No.
But hold on.
Like 6 straight years?
For 6 years, me and the Cowboys. I always win.
That's not a fair fight.
Yeah, it is a fair fight.
I disqualify myself.
No, can you come here?
I'm not objective.
I know.
Okay?
You're not objective about Tom Brady either.
Okay.
Or Baker.
But I did try to tell you about Carson Wentz, didn't I? Didn't I try to tell you about Tua?
Hold on. Didn't Carson Wentz, what did Carson Wentz do? Carson Wentz threw 27 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield ain't never threw 27 touchdowns.
Carson Wentz is on his 3rd team in 3 years.
Baker about to be on his 2nd one.
Okay.
And hold on. Think about that. He on his 3rd team in 3 years. I mean, somebody want him.
Did Carson Wentz get replaced by Deshaun Watson?
Hey, somebody want him. Somebody want him.
No.
Think about that, Skip. What did the Colts give up to get walking to him? What did the Commanders? Your guy can't even get a third of that.
That's the Commander's fault.
Yeah, that ain't no Commander's fault.
It is.
They value.
Yep.
You pay for value.
I tried to tell you about Sam Darnold. I tried, but you wouldn't listen to me.
Sam Darnold is currently on an NFL roster.
Yep.
Your guy is about to get traded, possibly cut.
Okay. Who do you think will have the better career? I want you on record right now. Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield? Help me out.
I think all of them will be one-hit wonders. So
Is that right?
It's over for you.
Baker Mayfield has already been more successful because he actually went and won a playoff game for a woe-begone franchise.
That's what they say him. That's what they say the quarterback. That's
And you forced me to bring it up again. Once Odell went down 2 years ago, here he came. He went on a run. He went 8-3.
What did Odell do once he left him, though? What did Odell do once he left him?
He chose to go to a team that made him the fifth best receiver on his roster. And in the 8 games that he played in the regular season, he averaged 3 catches and 34 yards a game.
And what did he do in the playoffs? Because that's when you make your name. That's when you become immortal. Is the playoffs. What did he do in the playoffs? What did he do to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Once they started triple covering Cooper Kupp, he started to get loose.
But it shouldn't matter. If Odell is not what you said he was, it should not matter who to put him on him.
Well, once Odell unfortunately went down and out, Baker goes on a tear and throws 20 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions over an 11-game span, wins the playoff game at Pittsburgh, and is graded by Pro Football Focus over those 11 games as the 4th best quarterback in pro football.
And guess what? All that being said, Baker Mayfield has never had a season statistically that can match up to walk it to him in his second season.
Really?
Let that sink in for just a second. Walking to him, you tell me walking to him is trash. And Baker Mayfield has never had a season statistically that can match that.
Bounce it to him Wentz has been exposed. You know it, and
Baker.
I know it.
Oh,
and
Baker.
as a Cowboy fan, I'm sitting over here licking chops, waiting for my 2 games against Wentz, W-I-N-C-E, because every time he drops back, I wince at what might happen.
Well, Mr. Progressive is going to have to get some new insurance.
Yeah, I hope they drop him.
Energy this morning is tremendous, guys.
hope they
And
drop
hey,
him.
Shannon, speaking of Mr. Progressive,